Who says we can't have kids? Who really knows what kind of environment is best for a child to be raised around? Okay, a child psychologist perhaps. But apart from those traditional conservative types, do you really suppose that there will be a professional psychologist out there who would deny a child the right for a loving, supportive family to be brought up by, whatever their sexual orientation? I doubt it. So then, who else has the right to judge people like us? Politicians? Fascist, homophobic, sexist and xenophobic ones who still manage to get voted in as Prime Minister in first world democratic countries? We're living in Australia right now, just saying. Beautiful country, friendly people, and the land of luck, as it's often been tagged. It's just a shame about some of the politics, for a few of us.
What is that big mountain there?
Mount Barney.
Mount Barney?
You can't see the mountain.
Mount Barney.
They hunt.
So, governments, leading figures, lawyers, judges and people of the cloth, that must be where a majority of the adversity and hostility derives from, surely. From prolific members of these professions and bodies. But do they have the right to decide that even standing next to an ill-equipped young heterosexual family who aren't ready to start one, that we aren't as equipped? Same-sex couples who go out, earn a living, pay their taxes and can be deemed law-abiding citizens. Is it due to their morals or principles that they get to decide we couldn't or shouldn't start our own family, from whatever source? To adopt a child is illegal for gay people in the state of Queensland, and that's not just a technical hit due to be rectified imminently because someone forgot along the line to get with the times and stop being so antiquated. That has been a standing stipulation, a conscious decision to keep it that way by this government ever since other countries decided to legalise it. They sit firm and stringent over allowing same-sex couples to adopt a child who just wants to be loved and cared for, regardless. And that's not about to change anytime soon with the new outmoded Prime Minister. I can't even mention his name without a torrent of abuse exceeding.
Excuse me. Sorry to interrupt you. I'm not trying to cruise you or anything. I just wondered, because I'm new around here, I'm looking for a state called Queensland. Am I that far away from it?
You are in Queensland, darling.
Oh, because I've heard that Queensland is really, really liberal and accepting of people like us. Is that true? Because I'm so excited about going if that is true.
Well, they don't call Queensland.
Sorry, did you just
So there we were in London 2010, on the cusp of deciding whether to pursue our dreams or fantasies by shipping off to a brand new world. Sorry, I nearly said brave then. Of hope and newly found aspirations. We wondered and wondered whether we should do that or should we stay put and start that family we had long deliberated over for many years. Obviously, we decided to move and get some new qualifications under our belt. Well, my partner did. And then pick up where we left off somewhere down the line. The line has dissipated, for now. We don't want a family just to fill a void in our lives or for any other ludicrous reason that objective people might assume. We keep ourselves very busy, and we have 2 furry babies who keep us well on our toes. So why do we want to start a family when it's still so difficult and taboo even in the 21st century? Why do we want to put a child through so much possible ridicule and bullying at school once the other children find out that he or she has 2 dads? Isn't that just selfish? Some have said or alluded to. The simple and less convoluted answer is, when you sit back and do nothing about your dreams or hopes and what you want from life, if you don't believe in achieving the goal from that what you desire in life and don't believe that it could ever come to fruition, then how the hell will anyone else believe it? How will it ever become normalised, in inverted commas, as I hate the word normal? The point is, this should have already been accepted, and of course it's becoming more so in other countries. But what kind of a world do we live in where the majority of the masses still think that a child given up for adoption would be much better off without love than to have love from a gay couple?
Now we've gone down the wrong road, which is for four-wheel drive only. So we're going to have to turn back and find our camping site. In the meantime, I'm going to have to piss out here with all the wild feral dogs.
I think there's wild dogs around here.
Hello? I don't want to try and... Sorry, I don't want to... I'm just checking you're pissing. I don't want to try and squeeze you.
Squeeze me.
Squeeze you? But are you on your way to Queensland?
I am, yes. Why? Why the interest?
All right.
Sorry, was you following me down the road earlier on? I distinctly remember that putrid, horrible gold-coloured car, whatever it is, green or gold or something.
Just thought you were a bit queeny, so that's why I wondered whether you were on your way to Queensland.
Yes, I'm on my way to Queensland. Why, are you a queen? Huh? Well, if you are, I'm okay about it. Right, I'm not that macho.
There's a toilet.
I've just been sexually suppressed for many years, but it's fine now I've met a like-minded person like you. Then
Oh, fantastic. Do you want to get in my gold car?
Yeah, okay, sure, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Got any food in there? Yeah, loads.
Oh, you got dogs. Oh, typical queen.
Basket Swamp Falls. But
Must I take? Which road?
no, you need to go to Wollongoney
Yeah, but we're already on
Aboriginal
which road?
place. Huh?
Who is to blame for these perceptions of us being unfit? And is that really what the majority believes deep inside? Haven't these feelings of anger, fear, and sometimes hate just been indoctrinated into their psyche from an early age by ancestors who brainwashed them, who were brainwashed by their ancestors, who were brainwashed by a government, by the powers that be? Possibly by the media years ago, when there were no gay role models. No characters in a TV series, no gay films that showed love in relationships. Just stereotyped camp men making complete arseholes of themselves. Well, actually, some of them were funny, even retrospectively. The media today has improved vastly, but still, other than the UK and parts of Europe in general, places like Hollywood still cover the gayness up with candy sugar coating, never displaying the affection or sexual side, thus conveying the message that it's okay to have gay characters, but let's not show them in bed or doing what the straight characters do, as that would be too abnormal and may sway the mainstream audience. But that there is the very core of the problem. When gay storylines or characters are more abundant in this day and age, by avoiding the stuff that goes on behind closed doors, they're still sending a message out to the public that it's not acceptable for most people. That way, it remains unacceptable. Why then is it fine for TV shows or films to up the ante these days with heterosexual sex scenes, but we dare not even show a kiss between the same-sex couple for more than a blinking second? Oh, wait a minute, hold on. We did have that mainstream gay romance film some years back called Brokeback Mountain, where we witnessed a glimpse of the lead male spitting into his hands and giving the other male lead a rough and ready pounding inside the tent. We should be grateful for small mercies. Other than a lack of affection, it was a good film. Personally, I feel that showing more of the sexual side in films is a positive step. It's nothing to be ashamed of, and if the plot warrants it, then why not? Just make it equal for all sexualities. The media has no qualms when it comes to showing the world grotesque violence and hateful bigotry. So what's wrong with showing love, nature, whatever the preference?
Bought a tent that doesn't block the light out. Like a goldfish bowl.
Honestly, are you this dumb?
Oh, what? So what? Something goes over it. Huh?
can see that you're not camp.
Tell me before I start having a panic attack like Holly. Holly's scared because of the big hornet flies here that have just stung time and he's going mad. Alright, so much steam, Holly. Now we're putting up the tent. Holly. Alright, I'm here. You can stop panicking now, Holly. Come. Come. Holly. Shush, 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 shush. Calm down.
Back and forth, our marriage goes. Almost the lyrics to a well-known 80s retro tune, but sadly, the state of Australia's same-sex civil union or marriage system. The system being non-existent in most states. And of course, you guessed it, Queensland leading the polls again. Our marriage means jack shit here. The best we can label ourselves are de facto partners, or NOK for not okay. Lots and lots of people have been angry and outraged that same-sex couples would even contemplate tying the knot and doing something which would allow us equal rights for tax purposes, accidents and emergencies, life insurance, health insurance, or just simply to solidify your companionship. I mean, how dare we want the same rights as a man and a woman in a relationship? That's just nuts, isn't it? That's just draconian, retrogressive and hateful, isn't it?
Did you think that by this time, 2014, that we'd be sat out here camping, not just with the furry babies, but with like proper babies, like adopted children?
Yeah, I would have liked to form our own little children by now.
Yeah. And do you think that by being almost a special needs teacher, certainly a postgraduate, what is it? What is it? Well, you've
I'm
been
still
studying.
pre-graduate.
So do you think that that would give you good credentials to make a good father?
Well, I think it will give me good credentials to be able to manage that.
What's that?
You.
What's
Because
that?
you're a bit special needs.
So you think you make a good father? Do you think you'll make a good stand to all those in the Queensland government who
Eat your food.
who think that we wouldn't?
I will make a very good stand, yes. So, now that you see the tent and the size of the tent, are you happy?
Yes, ecstatic. No, I'm looking forward to camping out. It's just, well, we've done it once before, haven't we?
Yeah, but not like this.
But my feet were hanging out the tent.
Exactly, we didn't sleep on a bed, we slept on the floor in the tent.
To be fair though, statistics show that it was a very divided fight for and against, which included religious people, atheists, agnostics, or just general members of the public. No second guessing as to who were mainly in the forefront for most of the lobbying. The thing is, I've said it before and I'll say it again, for the last time now. Do you think that if Jesus stood on the earth to address all of us today, that he would commend and condone the hateful ones? The ones who believe we should all burn in hell for our sins? Do we think that a man, according to the Bible, who associated himself with so-called misfits of life and died for our sins, would honestly be proud and support these scared, shallow and misguided ones? The ones who use his name and his father's name to lay shame on us? So in the end, even though a lot of people here didn't give a rat's ass who gets married and who does what behind closed doors, ultimately, as usual, it was all left to one man trying desperately to hold on to his much hyped and fake macho image and reputation to decide the future of freedom, liberty, democracy and basic human rights within the gay community. A community that put a significant amount of money back into the economy. A community who are largely renowned for being creative, artistic and amiable people. A community who are prepared to accept others for what they are inside and not on face value, as we are only too aware of how it feels to suffer dissension and prejudice at the hands of ignorance. A community who are sick and tired of having to play a paramount part in controversy and sensationalism when we are forced to face another broadcast or article in the paper informing us of more negativity, propaganda and careless haphazard outrage, predominantly from people who hate just for the sake of hating. Don't these people truly understand that we just want to be left alone in peace too? Don't they think that we've had enough of swimming around in goldfish bowls, having to endure this ongoing perpetual abuse and judgment bestowed by people who don't even know us? from people who possibly could change their minds if they actually met a gay person? Don't they think we've had enough of never being able to show affection in public towards our partners, even just a hug, without fear of violence? All compounded and fueled by a government too arrogant to push issues forward in advance. A government who would rather push issues back even more and repeal gay marriage laws so imminently after being implemented. I'm sure there was much more pressing, urgent and productive issues that have to be dealt with within this state. What message is this giving to the public now? Those who are ambivalent will never change their minds now. Shame on you, big man, and your motley crew.
It's 8 o'clock at night, and we just heard a noise outside, didn't we? Who's out there, Tom? Who's out there, huh? Who's out there? Who's out there? I can see two eyes. Oh my word. I can as well. Shine it right in front of me. There's two eyes to the right. Oh no, it's white. Can you see? I don't want to go out there.
No danger.
Loads of people have done the impression of Blair Witch, so it's not original or funny.
All things aside, we love Queensland. We have some good and eccentric friends here, and I'm sure there are lots of people sick and tired of living in the dark ages too. We speak for a minority who are slowly and surely becoming a majority. Whether it's liked or not, more and more people are becoming angry and perturbed by the alarming rate of teenage suicides here too, boys being the predominant. Of course, what the government tend to sweep under the carpet is that quite a high percentage of those suicides are down to fear and trepidation of their newly discovered sexualities. I've done some research and it transpires that many of the suicides have been due to absolute fear of how society will perceive them. How will they ever fit into a society where being an archetypal man is imperative to ensure survival and acceptance? How do I know this? Because of some of the notes which were left and I've read about. How will they fit into a society where their own government still makes sure that their lifestyles would be unacceptable and immoral? A government that literally does give the green flag and helps to instigate homophobic abuse, violence, and sometimes death, self-induced or from brutality. It's time for this government to wake up. People are born this way, and it's never going to go away. I felt another song coming on there, but I won't for copyright reasons. Face it now or years down the line when you have more blood on your hands. The reason I made this film, the first for 2014, is because by now we thought we might have our own family, one way or another. We haven't become bitter, dear friends, but when we witnessed other people we know nurturing their children, doing nice things with them like camping, we can't help but wonder, why can't we here? Why haven't we? When will we? Will we ever? It's not something we'll curl up and die over, but it is an issue that we have a right to highlight, to have our say, to try and explain to those who don't understand and claim that they never will. Why do you think we can't? Do you have a valid reason? And is that yours, or traditions, or some jumped up archaic political figures? I thought it prudent to tell you at this point that even though this film is called Camping Out in Queensland, we are actually 3 hours from that state. We're in New South Wales, where gay adoption is legal, by the way. Still, let's not split hairs over two sides of the border.